more about that and other pushes at the state level. Join us.
Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
The experts are clear. Sunlight, purified water, healthy non-GMO food, and having a good attitude is essential to a healthy immune system. But I go further with Super Nascent Iodine X2 from InfoWarsLife.com. 50% stronger than our original and revolutionary Nascent Iodine formula, coming from a deep earth crystal source that no other supplier has. Most other forms of iodine come from seaweed in areas plagued by Fukushima and other contaminants. Not our iodine. It comes from over 200-million-year-old crystal salt deposits and is tested and proven to be completely pure. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today. See the informational videos. Read the information they're compiled. And for a limited time, when you use promo code NOW at checkout, you get an additional 5% off the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products. Secure your Survival Shield X2 today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Using unparalleled research in the development of a synergistic formulation based around the key concepts of super oxygenation, the next level in cleansing is here. With key ingredients backed by real clinical studies, the new Oxy Powder, available through InfoWars Life, was invented during Dr. Group's research on the toxification of our bodies. Many herbal colon cleansers are harsh on the body and contain cheap and potentially dangerous ingredients, oftentimes full of synthetic fillers, GMOs, additives, or worse. Gently start cleaning your body with easy capsules that start working while you sleep. Oxy Powder does not require time off work, and there's no need for bad tasting concoctions. Instead, Oxy Powder slowly releases monoatomic oxygen into the intestinal tract and body. Experience the astonishing cleansing power of superoxide and ozonide technology. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to get started with Oxy Powder, or call 1-888-253-3139.
For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Silver Bullet.
You want answers? Well, so does he. Live from the InfoWars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, and in the last segment we were talking about the fight at the local level for our rights to film the police, our right to have a say-so as whether or not our police are going to be militarized with this federal program putting MRAPs and other heavy-duty equipment in the communities. And, of course, in New Jersey, they now have a bill that was passed in both houses unanimously, going before Chris Christie, that would essentially open up the process, make it more transparent, give the citizens more of a say-so before this comes in, instead of the citizens trying to get it out. Because, you know, there's been communities in California where they said, we don't want this. They got the local government to stand with them and say, all right, we're going to return this. And the Pentagon said, no, you can't return it. You're not allowed to. This is a white elephant program, if there ever was one, giving you this sacred elephant that you now have to feed, because one of the reasons that they're giving these things out is because they rushed them to market to try to protect the troops in Iraq. They're not very well designed. They have horrendous maintenance issues, horrendous maintenance costs. The Army doesn't want that on their books, so they're pushing it out to the local communities to keep them maintaining this. They offered it for free to any of the allies that wanted to come and pick them up, and nobody took them up on the offer. That should tell you something. So, yeah, they're basically a white elephant, but it is also setting up a very dangerous precedent of militarizing the police, of pre-positioning equipment in these communities, maintained at the expense of the communities, while the Pentagon retains ownership. See, that's why they said you can't send it back. We'll have to give you permission to send it back. They don't own this. They're not given this property. It is loaned to them. That's why they have to maintain it to a certain level. And it's why it's there, is so that it's going to continue to remain in the possession of the military, essentially. So they will decide how they're going to use it. Now, we were talking about this pushback. We have bills in various states where they want to prohibit filming the police. We have other bills where they are standing behind the right of citizens to film the police. And, of course, we've got someone here in Texas, Jason Villalba, in Dallas, a Republican, who basically wants to penalize you for filming the police. He also, and this is a story we had last Friday, Texas lawmaker pushes mandatory mental health screening for children. What an insane idea. This guy needs to go for mental screening. A Texas lawmaker has introduced draconian legislation that would force parents to have their children undergo mental health screening at the behest of teachers. They say parents would have 30 days to comply with the ruling, or the child will be sent to, quote, an alternative school. Oh, an alternative school. I sent my children to an alternative school. We homeschooled them because I'm not going to have that kind of control exercised over my children. I understand it's a psyop from the get-go. My wife was a teacher, has a master's degree in education, actually, and we understood exactly what they were doing with the B.F. Skinner techniques. The beyond freedom and dignity. They don't think you should have freedom or dignity. And if you don't believe me, take a look at what they've turned the schools into. I would not even recognize it from when I was in school, and it didn't pass the sniff test for either one of us. We absolutely would not put any of our children in the school. I understand people have issues. Many single parents, it's very difficult for you to homeschool. Get creative. Work with other people. Think outside the box. Don't put your kids in the box if you can, because it will pay dividends in the long run with the relationships that you have with your children. Believe me, it really will. Another article about how the schools are coming after parents. Here's one out of the UK. Several schools in England are threatening to call Child Protective Services and have parents arrested. Why? If they find out that your kids are playing video games at home like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty. There you go. So, if your kids play outside, call CPS because you're not watching out for them. If they go to a playground, call CPS. If they walk home from the playground, call CPS. If they're playing the wrong video games in their homes, call CPS. You kind of get the idea that they want to control our kids. Kind of get the idea they want to take our kids away from the families if they can't control them in the families. It couldn't be more obvious. Just connect the dots. Meanwhile, look at this other article that came out, let's see, this is 28th. I think this was on Saturday. Is that right? Police watchdog to probe claims that a pedophile sergeant ordered junior officer to keep quiet after catching an MP with two boys at a sex party. This is also out of the UK. So here you go. They're going to protect your children by sending in CPS and taking them away from you, presumably, if you let them play the wrong video games. Meanwhile, the police shut down investigation because this is an MP that's caught with a sex party with little boys. And we've seen this happen in the UK as well with the Jimmy Savile situation. After his history was made public, we realized that it had been shut down many times, several times by Scotland Yard. The higher-ups shut down the investigations of those who were lower down, who saw something, started to come after it as they should, and then it was shut down by those who were high up, just as we saw the BBC do that. They had some people that had created a documentary exposing his pedophile crimes, and that was spiked by the BBC. And then Danny Cohen, the guy who just shut down their most popular show, Top Gear, he wound up running a retrospect that was celebrating the life of Jimmy Savile as if none of this stuff had ever happened. But boy, if you offend their political correctness, if you offend their religion of climate change, you're gone. It doesn't matter if you got an audience of 350 million people, because they could care less about that. I mean, they're going to get their money one way or the other. But in this case, we've got a police watchdog who's going to examine claims that a pedophile sergeant ordered a junior officer not to tell anyone after catching Cyril Smith at a sex party with 2 boys because Cyril Smith was an MP, a member of parliament. He was threatened, get this, with the Official Secrets Act. So I guess if you're a politician, your pedophile parties are official secrets. They're not just secret, they're official secrets. And, you know, everything is national security to a corrupt government. We see this everywhere. Everyone that we talk to now in government, it doesn't matter if it's some local airport authority, they want to invoke secrecy and national security as if they're the CIA. You know, actually, I don't think the CIA ought to have that kind of secrecy. I disagree with Richard Burr, the new Republican chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He says, we're not ever going to have any oversight of the NSA or the CIA or any of these secret organizations. We should never even talk about any of this. No. You need to. You cannot have a secretive black government doing black operations and not talk about it. And, you know, it's not just England where they have these problems, where they have, where they want to ban video games or send CPS in after you. It's also here in the U.S. We've got the guy who's going to be replacing Harry Reid, Chuck Schumer. And there was a funny article that was up on Reason with a list of all the things that Chuck Schumer wants to ban. Because this guy is one of the most authoritarian nanny state people you can ever imagine. So you thought we were getting an improvement by getting rid of Harry Reid? No. Here's Chuck Schumer. Some of the things that he's done. He wanted to ban high-powered green laser pointers. He wants to ban powdered alcohol. He wants to ban powdered caffeine. He wants to ban alcoholic energy drinks. Hey, you get the idea this guy is like stuck in alcohol prohibition? Yeah, we're going to talk about that next. He says Bitcoin is money laundering. Ban it. Okay, fast food bread? Ban it. 25 to life, a video game? Ban that too. I don't even know what it is. But this guy is always trying to tell us how to live our lives. You know, when you've got the government constantly telling you how to live your life, you're not free, are you? When you have a militarized police force driving around MRAPs, SWAT teaming people, you're not free either. And I think one of the things that really puzzles me about the war on drugs, about drug prohibition, is just the absurdity of civil asset forfeiture. You know, we had an article earlier this last week. We talked to Paul Joseph Watson on Friday about it, about the government criminalizing people that had $5,000 worth of cash that they would take out of the bank. They wanted the bank to report this as suspicious activity. And, of course, they're pushing these suspicious activity reports and getting over 1 million of them a year from the banks. It used to be that they would look at the money that you were depositing in the bank because I said, you know, we got to be on the guard for money laundering. So if somebody is putting more than $10,000 in the bank in cash, that's suspicious. If they have deposits that would total more than $10,000 over a certain period of time, that's suspicious too. So you need to file a suspicious activity report, and they have actually used that to go in and confiscate people's money, saying that they were structuring their deposits. The whole point of that would be that you would look to see if it really is suspicious, if they're involved in criminal activity. But if they're not involved in criminal activity, they ought to be left alone. But they're using it to steal the business, steal the money of a lot of businesses, small businesses that are in the restaurant business that's predominantly cash, putting these people out of business, putting people in jail with these structuring charges. This is the way it was put in one of the articles that we had at InfoWars last week. A man... Charles Hugh Smith wrote this. His publication is Of Two Minds. Listen to the way he put this. He said, did you know that if you deposit too much money in modest sums, the government of Iran steals all your deposits? He then said, did you know that if you're caught with any drug paraphernalia in your vehicle, the government of Iran steals your vehicle? Pity the poor Iranian people. They live in a Kafkaesque nightmare where suspicion alone justifies the government stealing from its citizens. He says, oh, sorry, reader. I was just kind of teasing you. That's not in Iran. That's not the Iranian government, the source of all evil that we're supposed to go to war with. No, that's your government in America. These are tricks that are set up to steal from the American people. And, you know, when we reported about that incident of saying that they wanted the people taking $5,000 out of their account, and think about the fact that this money was already vetted when you put it into your account, right? They already looked at it and said, okay, this looks suspicious. He's putting cash into the bank. Let's notify